Hello, welcome. I've not prepared for this video at all. I'm just gonna say some random things because I feel like it. So watch if you please, but don't expect anything. So I literally have no idea what I'm gonna say. But I was just watching this guy. He seems pretty cool, I can't lie. From broke to owning my own cabin in 5 months. He seems pretty cool. And I was just somewhat inspired by this video, and I just thought, hey, I'll have a bit of a talk. So it's just amazing to see the lifestyles that are possible, and I think what I want, my vision, somewhat, is my lifestyle now. I'm in a council flat, in a flat council estate. There used to be an airfield. I'll tell you why I'm here in the first place is because when the council asked me and my father if any of us have criminal record, we said no because we didn't want to end up in a place of this nature. So they put us on the listing for a very beautiful village. I was very excited. We had a house in a village, and they gave us the address, and we was kind of preparing. And then when they found out that this was not the case, that my father does not have a clean record, they put us in this council estate. So gratitude is key. You always seek more, but here we are now in the council estate. Now I work at the local shop and in retail. At least I have a job. But it's I find it difficult to not slip under every now and then in terms of everybody compromises in the modern world their dreams of growing up. The system kind of wants you to straighten out and fit into their pre-existing slots. Like, you have to fulfill a role that society wants you to fulfill by default, and the path to self-actualization or self-discovery of your own passions and then going about manifesting those and monetizing them is actually very difficult in the modern world. It's almost like if they had an agenda to not make that easy for people, they're certainly doing a good job. Because once you get on the treadmill of responsibilities, it's actually very difficult to get off once you get into the treadmill of wage slavery. So my granddad said to me, when you're on the treadmill, which is the cycle of modern Western responsibilities, the louder you scream, the faster it goes. Unfortunately for me, I have come to the conclusion that I will never stop screaming. The idea of shutting up and licking stamps at the post office till the day I die has always been unacceptable. And what I was saying in terms of it's hard not to slip under every now and then. So you gotta not let the negative energies drag you down. But when you wake up, you go to your retail job, You come back, you have 4 hours, well, 4 hours. Suppose on paper you have 4 hours of freedom. Well, you have 12 hours of freedom, but you need to use 8 of those to sleep. And then you're back again. Not all the time, so, but regardless, I know 8 hours a day isn't that bad. I've had a lot worse. And I'm not here to just complain. I really don't want to make that the case. And I'm not complaining, right? But the modern world really, this gets into the archaic revival. I know there's more. I don't want to be a victim to the system. I know it's ultimately on me to bring about and manifest the life I want. But like I say, the treadmill is really difficult. And this is basically the only reason you ever feel pain. And I was saying this to some colleagues, like, that is because, like, I know there's more for me. Most people are actually very happy, or they're comfortable with their job. But, like, the thing is, most people are actually pretty miserable. Most modern people are actually pretty miserable most days, I swear. And it's a symptom of this society. What do most people do? They come home and they plug into entertainment, and entertainment really is an escape from... I've spent the whole day today, and this is rare for me. Every 2 weeks or so I slip under for about a day and I don't want to wake up. And I can't help but feel this is a symptom of... I guess ultimately it's my psychology. I'll take responsibility. I won't be a victim. But even the very first video I made, it's like, you really... I don't know if it's just because I live in the UK. I don't know if it's particularly bad over here. Or again, maybe I'm just lacking gratitude, which I definitely have been for the past day or so. But I can't help but feel it's just a symptom of just like this meaningless perpetual cycle of just like, I don't belong in where I am. So yeah, I spent the whole day today sat on the fucking sofa, eating not the best food, consuming media. And if you watch the short on my channel called Red Herrings, it's like, media is you got to be very careful of this distraction, because it consumes your attention, and it's such a thorough, whatever the word is, like absolute distraction, that you can't even you don't let yourself think, because you're so heavily engaged with the distraction. And I kind of wasted the day. And it took for a friend to call me and was like, "What you doing?" And I explained my predicament. I was like, "Yeah, thanks for calling me," because I was so heavily mired in the distraction. But the reason I'm mired in the distraction is because the path of self-actualization is painful. So I'm going around a bit. I don't finish my points quite a lot. Like I start points and then I branch off and then I follow one of the branches and then I don't return to the original point. So what I was saying to my colleagues is that when I'm stood in a warehouse job, and like I can be grateful that I'm there, that I'm earning money, good, but at least once every week, or not even, probably every day, there's just like this tick that's like, why am I still here? I've been in these environments since I was 16. I'm now 19 and I'm still in and on the treadmill of wage slavery. I know it's my fault ultimately. I have to get out of it, but it's so what's my vision anyway? I don't mean to complain. I'm just speaking. So say what you will. Tell me the truth. I'm not one for getting offended. Comment how you feel about this if you watched, but what's my vision? I told you my situation for a reason. I don't know if you're familiar as well with the financial situation I've been speaking on basically since the beginning of time on my channel. My spending habits are pretty awful. Right now I literally have no money. I don't know how much exactly I'm in debt, but I owe a lot of people around me a lot of money. And I don't want to like scare people by saying how much I'm in debt maybe, but I honestly it's like so I don't know, but it's at least like 1.5 grand minus to my name while I work at like minimum wage in a flat in a council estate, and like I want to actualize my dreams, but it's very difficult to do that. And I literally started sobbing, yeah, on the sofa. I was last night I was watching an eco village documentary, and that like it was just showing like this eco community of these people who like grow their own food, and they live like with intention. The whole community lives with intention. um and it was just showing like a bee on a flower on a tree, and I was like, bro, there's not even a tree here. Not really. There's like some dead trees on the outskirts of the council estate by some main road, but other than that, the only trees that there's like 4 trees in the field. They literally cut all of the branches off of it, so now it's just because they were deemed dangerous by the council. So the only trees that were here, they literally like, that's what they do now. They just sell you safety and just get rid of everything else. No freedom, safety. Take Corona for example. I mean, don't, and then I got to be careful about what I say because I'll get blocked from YouTube as well. But I mean, you can't deny that that's what our culture perpetuates as safety. So yeah, I don't mean to just like complain. Ultimately, I'll talk about my vision in a minute. And then like there's many things, like I have health, like as I'm a very spiritual person. You are what you eat. I really care about my health, but it's very difficult to care about your health in this society that kind of preys on you. They turn you into the product. It's so heavily like capitalist and consumer, where like I say, I've been caught in this TV distraction. I know it's my fault, but it's like there's so many traps. The food is red herrings also. The packaging deceives you. So much of it's unhealthy. Even the healthiest stuff in the local shops is thoroughly sprayed with pesticides, and they make it so difficult for someone who just kind of grows up in an average household and just finds himself like in this situation. And then like it's like you've been going downstream million miles an hour eating shit food that your parents have just been feeding you the whole time. Like, I'm grateful that I've had any food at all, but it's true, no one around me, and like I will say this point blank, my parents, people around me, my carers, and I'm not like hating on it all, but like everyone around me really has literally no idea about health. And I know that they might hear that and go, oh, but it's like when you actually look into it, like, has anyone really thoroughly researched this stuff? Like, I know I was like, and then I'm like, why am I complaining about my health? Anyway, I'm not complaining. It's just like this society and this it strips you of meaning. You literally just become like a cog in a machine. And when you're trying to self-actualize your life and you have like a vision of what you want to do, and you're so like, you want that vision, you shouldn't hinge off of it, as in you can't be fulfilled without it. You got to practice gratitude, but it's like you really do lose everything just to what? Just to work in retail. Um, and there's many I don't know. But that to me is not acceptable, because I know what this life is capable of. And this is why I'm gonna hang around regardless. I'm never gonna kill myself, because I want to see how it plays out. So there's a lot of traps in society. It's easy to fall victim to them. And the process of awakening is untangling all of your neuroses that you've accumulated throughout your life, and reflecting on your childhood and potential traumas and programming and unconscious behavior patterns, and reevaluate. And that's what I decided earlier. I got to reevaluate who I am and what I want so heavily. Um, and then all the disease and like it's not so good. I mean, right round where I am, it's not so bad, but a lot of the living situations, it gets far worse than what I'm dealing with. This is not that bad at all. I'm fine. I got money coming in, and I got food. But the modern society is actually very overwhelming as well. There's a lot of like credentials and apps and weird, all this like phonetic alphabet stuff that you have to integrate into, and but it's all built on greed and capitalism, and it like, I'm not meant to be cooked up in this flat. I know I'm not meant to be up here. This is not. And most modern people, yeah, they're pretty miserable, and it's hard not to. It's hard not to get down about it sometimes. Like you got to always be positive and not let the negative energies drag you down. But fuck me, it's like, uh, I know what's possible, man. Like, this life is not meant to be like this just weird grind. It's not meant to be that. It's like it's like literally mystical at the bottom of everything. I know it is. There is real awakenings, and it's not even just about that. It's just about vitality and health and community and family. Just get off of this grid. And there's many problems with the grid. I don't. There's many problems with the grid. I'll make a. I'm gonna make a video about the problems of the grid, like how it's all just some fat loop, and it goes a lot into the big pharmaceutical companies and that, like. And it's not no good big conspiracy. Like, I don't want to get banned, but all the food's poison. They fearmonger on the news. All this stuff is like neurolinguistic programming, subconscious programming that you don't even realize. And then when people show symptoms, I have a lot of young friends who get hooked on class A's for depression when there's no, and psychedelics are illegal, and it's like a heavily sick culture. And this is what I'm talking about ultimately. It's like, I hate being a victim to it. I hate being a victim to it, and the way I perceive it is, if I fail on my path of self-actualization, uh, it's more of like, I want to, if I can manifest and build my grandiose vision, then I feel like I would have done justice to the psychedelics. I would have done justice to this video that I'm making here, to all the videos in my past. It's like, I'm not just talking here. I'm not just complaining about my life and not taking action. That's not the case. Some days, like today, unfortunately, I do fall under, and I didn't take a whole lot of action. But it's difficult when all of your energies is just, and you know what the mad thing is? I started working at this retail job 6 weeks ago. A month and 10, what was it? Yeah, 6 weeks ago. I have not been paid. And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying this is just part of the grid. If I work, I want money. I'm getting paid very soon. But then there's like this 2-week cut-off, so you're always waiting for 2 weeks of money. And people accept it because it fits into their comfortable routine, but the way I put it is, if Putin bombed us now, this corporation would just run away. They don't care about my money. The idea that the vast majority of the population works a month in hand, meaning you do a month's work, and then there's likely a 2-week cut-off. So you do a month's work, get 2 weeks' pay at the end of the month, while you're waiting for your other... So you do at least a month in hand, anyway, is what I'm saying. A month with no money. I don't really buy it. And it's that they cut so many corners, the whole society, like this, and they just treat you like a product. So the way I would propose, Ram Dass, for example, he discovered his passion of the lectures, and he monetized his lectures, and the public were willing to pay and donate for his passion. We are all capable of actualizing and bringing about our passions and what we want. You then find your fulfillment in this passion, and you find your life purpose in it, basically, and it's monetizable. And this is the healthy cycle of how it's meant to be. This is the beginning of what I was speaking. This culture likes you to fit and change into set categories. So now that I've complained loads and lowered all of your vibrations, what's the vision? The reason I tell you this is because it won't be the case. I don't believe that this happening is a mistake. I don't believe I'm just going to float away, get old, and just go into the darkness and be sad eventually. Like, I'm not going to fail on So what's the vision? As I find my circumstances very relatable to the vast majority of the population. And it depends how serious you are. I'm not for this comfortable life at all. I want a heavily empowering life. So, what is my vision? And I didn't just get this from this video. I've been thinking from this cabin guy. I've been thinking this for a long time. It's just, I know that there's magic lifestyles to be lived. And I'm going to embody a lifestyle that is radically different from the lifestyle I embody at the minute. And when I do that, I'm going to talk about exactly how I got there and what it takes to do so, and everything about just that. What is the lifestyle? Many things. Terence McKenna is a huge inspiration. I'm definitely going to go to an ayahuasca center as soon as possible. I don't know if I'm going to come back. I don't know how it goes down. Eco villages. Big visions. I won't sell it short. I'll go far-fetched. Because you can't manifest what you can't conceive of. Health, community, passion, creativity, love, fulfillment. I know it's out there, but we all settle for less. Most people settle for less because they don't care. But a big reason why they don't care is because they actually do care. Most people want the vision, they just don't want to work for it. But if you really, really want something at your core, you're willing to do anything for it. So, the main sort of vision is to actualize my own life. That's it. I guess that's it. I don't. It's not about bringing about nothing on the channel here. It's that I've been talking about, like, I'm not depressed or nothing these days at all. Except for like a few days here and there. But I've told you from the ground up for far too long. My financial situation, my mental state that was until not long ago, I was heavily depressed. Uh, my just general living situation, most people around me are pretty miserable. No one likes their job, no one really likes their life. Everyone's health is horrible and everyone's getting sick. Most people have so much psychological knots in there, and everyone knows that. Everyone watching this, like, there's so much, like, and I can see a lot of people around me, like, they just so heavily suppress their psychological knots that they, like, almost pretend they're not even there. They're just so far gone, and it's like a defense mechanism because they know how painful it is to, like, build a vision of what you want. People just don't want to think about it, so they just sink into the sofa like I done today, and they just distract themselves. They know they're capable of so much more, but they know that it entails our population addicts to many things. We all addict. That's what humans do. And we do that because life is hard. And it's hard when you think about what you want, what you really want. There's what you want, which is just your addictions through the day to day, and there's what you really want. And what you really want is self-discovery and love. So my vision is to actualize my own life, to crawl out of this low vibrational state that I'm fucking sat in right now, to actualize my health, to escape the grid. This is the main thing. So this guy's one example. Right.
Super scary.
Fucking buying a sick cabin. Where's Mr. Nature, mate? You gotta check out Mr. Nature. I swear in one video he said he literally lives for free, mate. I'm not trying to live for free. It's not like I don't want to work. This is the thing. It's just that everyone's work is so disconnected from survival. But there's just like so many men who just live like profound, amazing lives, and I just know that there's so much that's possible. That us, man, like, we've just been sold a vision that is just not the fucking case at all. We all settle as if this is all that's possible, but I know that that's not the case. I've seen other cultures. I've seen the eco villages. I've seen radically different lifestyles. And it really is like we're just put in some grid, and it's like just like some tax farm, and you have to deal with the letters that come through your door, and these and it's just like I say, it's not just me. I don't mean to just complain, but most people around me are pretty miserable. Most modern people are pretty miserable. They don't say they're depressed, but that's because they don't associate with the label. But most people are miserable on the day to day. So what does that say? I know it's ultimately us who's responsible, the individual, but a lot of this is a symptom of a suppressed society. It's very suppressed. People tell you to be yourself. Me personally, I can't really be myself in this society because I'll get sacked. Not literally. It depends, I don't know. But it's because I talk on psychedelics and our culture is so got this programmed notion of what a drug is that they just think, oh, drugs, they cause hallucinations, they're bad. Like, it depends, and most people are not thoughtful. And then what happens is because everyone, like, a very good example is I used to work in a Tesco distribution warehouse, and it was very, very heavy, getting timed by robots, getting anonymous messages on your arm monitor that says hurry up please, and you're literally getting timed, like you can barely go to the toilet, your breaks are timed, you literally sit down and then you just got to get straight back up again, minimum wage. And then because this environment, and this is like a fractal concept, because this environment in this warehouse was so dehumanizing and toxic, everyone walked around in a perpetual state of hate, and many people approached me and they immediately had a problem with me before they even knew anything about me, and I'm confident it was nothing I'd done, but they do it because they're so discontent within themselves that then they project it externally. And this is what our culture is dealing with, why there's so much hate, why Western people are so miserable and so hateful. And when I met some friends in Wales, I saw how many people do not associate with this negativity at all. It's absolutely not necessary, and you'll be absolutely taken back by the radical alien nature of some of these cultures. There's no emphasis on nature. So in terms of the internal discontentness being projected externally, when I'm at my retail job, if I feel discontent in myself, I project that onto the customers. And I can now recognize this in other people. So you generally don't have much of a problem with the external world until you lose your contentness within yourself. One individual, who I won't name, when he gets discontent and angry, all of a sudden the entire world is in his way. Everything is blocking his path, but it's always external. So I'm at the till, and I if I hate my life, basically I judge the customers. And it's weird. It's like you're a grievance looking for a reason, or grievance looking for a cause. I don't know what the exact term is, but it's like you hate your life, so you just like project it outside, and you don't turn within, and people just completely block out and pretend the internal world doesn't exist. So yeah, that's it. Ultimately, I don't want to be a victim to the system. It does get to you. Just keep your chin up. Don't let them negative energies drag you down. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to not remain in this situation forever, hopefully. And then when I go about actualizing a radically different lifestyle, I will document just that. And I basically want to show people that you don't have to be a slave to this grid, because I know you don't. I know you don't. It's just a lie. It's like we just become a product. We're just cogs in a machine, batteries for the Matrix. So that's it. I didn't mean to just talk about that. I'm running out of storage now. That's basically the outro for all of my videos. I'm running out of storage, so I gotta go. But I'm also heavily reflecting on the way I don't think I am nobody special, mate. The way I act on my channel is nothing. I'm not so awake. I hate on people. I judge people. I'm growing. But who I am today is not who I want to be. I accept myself in the present moment. And when you feel shit, if you accept that that's okay, it kind of moves it forward immediately. That's what Dan Jefferson told me. I'm going to be on an interview with him soon. I'll link it in the description when it's out. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to heavily reflect on who I am, and you will see a radical transformation in the next year. I'm going to keep making these easy videos. I'm going to take a step back from the computer and just chill the fuck out and do a lot of reflection. So thank you. I'm running out of storage.